and reaching out to different brokerages. And so we're really happy to talk to you about KW, to talk to KW about this side opportunity that I think has a lot of complementary skills with what we do for our business at RealShare. So I hope everyone should be able to see this is the homepage for RealShare that I'm on right now. We are the what? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Thanks for checking there. Appreciate that. So what do we do? We're licensed to sell securities, and that's across Ontario, as well as other provinces. It's a highly regulated. You guys come from a highly regulated industry. We're in a highly regulated industry. The Ontario Securities Commission is our regulator. There's a lot of rules around and regulations around who can invest and what you're able to invest in, and the process to actually onboard people. Probably not too dissimilar from what you guys face in your world. We're around clients with capital to invest, right? So it's not people living paycheck to paycheck. They have some capital to invest. They want to earn extra returns. We work exclusively in what's called the exempt markets. And when I say exempt, it means exempt from prospectus requirements, which is everything that you hear about in the news about this stock or that stock or Tesla dropping or this stock going on fire. It's all that's all the public markets. That's mostly dominated by all the banks in this country, and we are purely in every investment that does not include publicly traded stocks. So what does that mean from a risk perspective? We're in what's called the private markets. Some of you may have invested or have experience in the private market. Essentially, we're dealing exclusively in private companies that want to raise capital to do different things, right? And some of them we have income funds, we have real estate trusts, we have mortgage funds. So typically, because real estate's so capital intensive, that's where a lot of the money, in our world goes to is in real estate. And it doesn't take a lot, right? It obviously takes a lot, especially in the city, to buy a home. It doesn't take that much to invest in the private market. It used to be something that was always sold to very high net worth. It was very clubby. You need to have like $250,000 minimum to write a check to get into this private market. You had to know people, and that barrier has been falling, and it's been falling for a while. And with our technology, we're able to reach out to more people and to bring down investments to sometimes as little as $5,000. Although, strictly speaking, technically, most of our investments hover around different levels, like kind of 25,000 is popular, 50, 100, 250, and we even have $1 million checks that come in from time to time. And so the idea behind this is we're saying, well, who's dealing with people that are investing in real estate or trading in real estate already, and who's dealing with people that are sitting there and actually, at the front lines, knowing exactly when days are closing and who the clients are that are receiving funds from real estate sales. And it's a situation where you guys know where capital is. Where the flows are going, and there's a way to make money with your existing network by referring business to RealShare. And we're totally separate, right? So we're regulated. Anyone can actually refer business into an exempt market dealer. It's totally qualified. It's just there's a gray line about doing too much business. So if you're doing this on a consistent basis over the course of a year, and you're really good at it, then it's usually best to get registered. You can be registered on both. There's no issues with being registered as a what's called a dealing rep in our world, or having a brokerage license. Those are totally, they're actually very complementary to each other, right? Because you're dealing with basically opportunities to invest in private market real estate on smaller levels, right? You don't need a big down payment to invest in what we do. So I'm just showing you our commercial that we run on BNN. It's really targeted to our end client user, right? The people that we want to understand that, hey, there's opportunities to invest in the private market, things that you may not always see. And this is our homepage. We basically show you the different returns you can earn in different investments. So there's Scott McGilvery Fund, which is you guys might know him from HGTV. He's launched this. He's on his third fund. We're doing the investments for him. We're closing the investments for him. And it's a target IRR of 20%. He's doing developments in Ontario, some low rise and some high rise development. Peninsula Capital Corp is a Canadian-based company that's investing in Section 8 housing in the U.S. and New York and Pennsylvania. These guys are actually a group that's actually going to go public this year. So it's and when I say go public, I mean they came from the exempt market and then they're graduating and going to go public and be publicly traded. Once they're there, we're very happy for them. They've made it to the next level, and they are that's the flow of where we're going. We really are on the early stage of investments, right? Groups that are investing in new companies, new ideas on the step to becoming public. So if you hear people, you've had experience investing in an IPO and making money out doing that, well, this is before the IPO stage, as you know. So you have that nice opportunity to make a lot of a very nice return. Core is a dental health clinic. They actually go into buildings, retrofit them into dental facilities and small units, but fully suited. So you just come in as a dentist and you pay your rent and you have all your equipment there. Receptionist ready to take your deal with your business and you just pay your rent. So one makes it really easy for dentists to operate all nice, clean, new build construction. Freed Income Fund 2, and then full disclosure, Peter Freed, which I assume a lot of you would know, being in the business, is a part owner in RealShare, and he has one of his funds on here. It's Freed Income Fund. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we move on. Basically, Peter's developed, right? He has a development business, he has a brokerage business, PSR, and he also has a construction business, First Con. That's this proverbial three legs of the stool to actually create and develop and deliver a condo development. So all those businesses earn fees, and then on top of that, he's retained properties that he's built. This is the one at Church and King. That BMO in the picture there is owned by the fund, and other high traffic areas, King West. There's prime real estate that's in that fund. I'm not going to go through the list of everyone, just showing you the first top four, but there's multiple different opportunities that could suit your clients. And we're not expecting you to sell anything to your clients. It's merely pass on a name and let us know, who we should call, and we can assess their situation and recommend investments to them. And we would send you a check for providing us with that referral. Before I go any further, anyone have any questions or anything? Is that clear? What we do? And any questions from the online? Okay, I'll keep going. So.
Yeah, if you click RealShare up at the top, you can share.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I also have everyone online. You can't see, but perhaps you could hear. I have Adi Kapardi here as the president of our firm, and Natasha Tenier, who helps us out as well. Kind of the proof in the pudding of that there's synergies in what you guys do and what we do. Adi, if you want to jump in or say anything, it's I'll let you after answer the questions. So I wish I had more to say to you guys. I want to keep it short, respect your time. It's really, really simple what we do. And that's really all it is, right? You guys are around people with capital. And, if they have money to invest and they may be just handing it over to the broker or sitting on it or not doing anything when they could be earning, really attractive returns. I'm going to go at just profile one. And if you go into our website and you can open an account, it's free to join. And you can take a look at all the investments that we have and look at all the metrics. And there's a lot of information there, but we're happy to talk to you and break it down exactly how it works. Right. But if you guys can, provide us with investments, we can pay really nice commissions, in the neighborhood of 5%. That's kind of the top out level. Right. And it changes depending on which offering it is, right? Because each one has a different. Mortgage funds, for instance, pay a little less. They're a bit sharper on the margins. Other funds have capacity to pay a bit higher. And I'm just going to profile one opportunity. This is one. I've been in the investment business for 20 years. Mostly spent my time in corporate finance, and I've seen a lot of investment product. I haven't seen an investment product like this that's so weighted towards the investor and investor security. And this is Freed Income Fund. Why is Peter Freed out there raising money? It's because he's built a portfolio of 73,000 square feet of income properties. He has a development right now at the Annex, which is at Spadina and DuPont, and that acquisition will more than double the size of his portfolio to 155,000. So it took Peter 15 years to accumulate 73,000 square feet. With one transaction, he's going to make it to 155. He needs some capital to do that. He's happy to take a smaller piece of the pie to more than double the size of his portfolio. Some terms of this is a minimum investment of 10,000. It's a 5-year term, of which there's 4.5 years left and matures in December 29. There's a 10% cash distribution. So this is not, if you guys have experience in that market, there's a lot of opportunities. We have them as well, where it's a development play, and give us your money today in 2025. Development will be done by 2030. Once that's done, everything that goes out there, we expect to earn 20% IRR, and we'll let you know what you made at that time, right? Maybe you did a little bit better, maybe you did a little bit worse, but we'll tell you when we have your funds back. And you sit there for 5 years and just kind of forget about it. This one's not like that. It actually pays you a cash distribution every quarter. The fund's been out there since 2022, the origins of the fund, and it's been paying distributions. It's paid its 12th consecutive distribution, in April. So it's been a good run. A key part of this is for taxes. Not getting too complicated, but all the taxes have been deferred to date, meaning that people have received 10% cash, and they have not had to pay any income tax at the end of the year. And the way that works is they actually pay a capital gains tax at maturity, which only 50% of that's taxable. And it's going to happen 4.5 years from now. So it's a really nice cash flow. It's been very attractive to retirees that are looking for extra income. And as well, you also have a subordination. So Peter owned 100% of these companies before the launch of this fund. Pro forma is going to own 83% of it. So you have first cash sweep, 100% of all the cash that comes into the fund gets paid to the investors and their 10% distribution, and then Peter has a catch-up. So it's very weighted to making sure the investors can sleep at night and also get a check every 3 months. So it's that's basically what the opportunity is. I just put $100,000 example here at the bottom. Cash dividend, you make 10 grand a year, right? So even by the maturity, you've already received half your money back and you have not paid 1 cent in tax. So if you're looking for a yield investment, this would be highly suitable. There's very low leverage, right? There's a 20% LTV on the overall portfolio. It's been appraised at $230 million. I'm going to skip through this. So I'm not going to get too in detail because you guys can look at this, as you'd like. But there's also what's called an automatic dividend reinvestment option, and that is for investors that don't want to take the cash but just want to create compound returns. And so they can automatically get your quarterly distribution subscribed to new shares, and you earn compound returns. So if you put $100,000 in at inception, over the 5 years you get $50,000 of return. With the drip, you get an extra, $14,000 approximately of compounded return. So, and this one's really popular. This is RSP and TFSA eligible, so it's very popular for those because you don't want to have to deal with the reinvestment risk of an RSP. You don't want to keep dead cash in your RSP. So a lot of people do, and they shouldn't. For those of you who don't know about Freed, he made a name for himself in King West. Was one of the early developers there. And then in 2021, he did an acquisition of the resorts in Horseshoe and Deerhurst and land at Blue Mountain. He's got developments going up. It was announced at Blue Mountain. This fund does not invest in resorts. This fund does not invest in developments. All this fund does is collect fees, contracted fees that are paid as part of the development. So when you go in with your pro forma to the bank and get a construction loan, it has your costs for your doors, your windows, what you're going to pay your development manager, your construction manager, and your brokerage, right? You guys. And all those fees, the house fees, get rolled into this fund and are used to pay out that 10% priority distribution. A bit about the structure, right? It's Freed Income Fund 2. There is also a Freed Income Fund 1. That one is not actively marketed. The money's been raised for that. And these are the assets, right? You're buying 10 prime urban properties, 73,000 square feet, which is, planned to go to 155,000. And then you own a piece of the PSR brokerage, free developments, and First Con Construction. A little bit about Peter. In terms of the offering, just some technicalities here, right? This is meant for 4.5 years. If investors want their money out early, they can do that. There's a monthly redemption option, but there is some fees associated with it because we're paying out referral fees and commissions, and there's cost and time to actually go and bring someone into the fund. There is a 10% fee that gets paid if you try to redeem within the first 18 months, and that reimburses some of the cost to get someone in. When you think about it, it is high, but if you're in the fund for a year, you'll have earned a 10% distribution, so it kind of cancels out. It's really not, we actually don't even want to charge that fee. We actually don't want people that actually want to get out. It's really meant for people that want to earn this type of income for 4.5 years, right? That's not suitable. If you want to invest or for less than a year, go in the stock market, buy a GIC, depending what you want to do. It's not suitable for that. And that's a bit of the buildings of Peter's, and then a bit about, here's the location. You're buying really property portfolios like this trade all the time in the private market. You guys probably have a lot of insight about what's, selling and trading on the commercial side. But this is a cluster in King West, Church and King. The annex, this is where the growth opportunity is, right? Is doubling size of portfolio in the annex, and then Yonge and Eglinton. And it's all Amazon proof, right? It's bars, restaurants, gyms, banks, everything that's been tested through COVID and rent was paid. So it's a really secure portfolio. It's new gen construction, and it's high quality real estate that, frankly, if we're talking here 15 years ago, there'd be no way for the regular guy or person to be out there and own a piece of this. Just wasn't available unless you could write like a $250,000 or $500,000 check to get time in front of a developer and buy this type of real estate. And that's no longer the case. And that's really, that's really the crux of what I want to say is that we have a bit about the referral program. Just pull that up. Give me a second. Are there any questions in the meantime? Yeah, it's a really nice return. I should also mention, I'll just drive it home, because there's no tax on this. To get 10%, if you want to go out and buy a high yield bond, or you want to go invest in make a private loan, right? You would need to earn a 10% return, an 18% return, depending on your tax bracket, 18 to 20 possibly, to be able to net 10% cash at the end of the year. So the pre-tax equivalent yield that you're getting on this thing is pretty much private equity level returns, but you also have a subordination where you're getting first cash sweep of 100% of the income that comes in, and right, and you also have the track record. This fund's been paying distributions for 12 quarters, right? And then frankly, it's the businesses that made Peter Freed a wealthy guy. That's how he got started. He started earning his development fees, and then he did PSR, and then he did First Con, and then he started owning properties. Here's the big thing, and it's like it took a long time to get there. He wants to go bigger, and he's buying his own product, right? He knows what it is, and he's there toe to toe with the investors. Yeah. Anything from the Google crowd here?
Background.
They may be.
Do you
Yeah.
guys work with
They may just be on
financial
mute.
advisors or wealth
Yep,
managers?
we do. So even if you connected us with a financial advisor you think this would fit for,
Right.
they're going to want a fee as well.
Yeah.
Right.
exactly.
So we'd kind of help, but it would kind of be between you and the financial advisor to, what your split is. We're agnostic too.
Also, the high net worth individuals that we work with from an investor perspective, they have their own advisors, right? And how we work it out is this is private capital market. So we reach out to the advisors and then the advisors we go through our presentations of different products. Depending on what is the appetite, risk appetite, time of, how long they want to invest. Based on that, then the advisors would select a particular product that their clients would be investing in. Or we actually explain it directly to the client and the client goes to their advisor, says that I'm interested in this, what is your take on it? And we complete the investment.
Right.
And again, just to give a overall big picture perspective, there are two things in play here. One is as a realtor, you do earn a lot of commission, and that commission sits in you would invest that in public market or in private market, right? This is just an option for you to diversify your portfolio, right? And on top of that, add additional services to your clients, talking about selling investments, which is way beyond what you already do, which is your expertise, real estate, right? So that gives added, trust and builds trust. It's all about being there for your client, right? Whether today that be selling a commercial property or a residential property, but tomorrow, if they are quiet, you can talk about investments, and that's going to add to their portfolio and to their income. So now you're bringing more value to your clients and building that additional trust. So that's where we are coming into picture is we equip you as a realtor to talk to your clients, and then if they are referred to us, if we do all the selling, you have to do nothing but just refer a client to us. We will do the selling. We will, give them the products. Once they invest, all you see is a consistent cash flow coming into your bank, right? Every time the investor invests, you will get a commission out of it, right? So now think about if you have 10 investors.
Sorry, I'm not sure if they can hear you. Maybe you want to come closer.
Oh. Sorry, guys. I hope you were able to hear what I said. So if you have around, say, 10 investors, they collectively invest 1 million, right? Now you are getting a consistent cash flow commission without doing any work, but just sending an email out to the investors. We take care of everything. Now, if those investors keep on investing, then you're again getting a cash flow coming in, right? So that's the value that we want to bring. And we are a regulated business. So what that means is it is a trustful, entity that you can trust for your own investments and your clients' investments.
Well, most of the clients that would be interested in this, I'll be very honest with you, have their own financial advisors,
Absolutely.
right? Because they have that network that
Yeah.
someone's managing it for them.
So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Canaccord, right?
Okay.
Now they have a number of wealth managers, right? These wealth managers are now started looking into private capital market and see how they can diversify. RBC, TD, they have now requirements from their leadership team is how you can move your clients to diversify into private capital markets. So this is happening, and we are at that junction where we want to make this, easy and enabled. So we are also not only just a EMD, but a technology platform which makes it very easy to access and to invest. So that's basically what.
But yeah, I take your point though. Like we do get a lot of feedback, right? That's like my clients are looking at me as a real estate guy. They don't come to me for financial advice. We spoke in the insurance industry. We get like, there's similar concept there, but at the same time, it's such a big world, the investment world, and the savvy people. There's definitely people that are going to give you that say like, talk to my guy, and we even deal with directly with the financial advisors because sometimes we get a name.
Right.
And the guy will actually flip it to his advisor, and the advisor will come back to us and say, "What are you guys talking about?"
Yeah.
Right?
And in that situation, it's also about you are not selling it. You're not doing anything. You're basically saying that, guys, I have this opportunity. These are the EMDs. They are registered through Security Commission of Canada. They will talk to you, and if it benefits you, please go ahead. Right. So now you're more like a connector to the investment world, and helping your client to grow more through private capital market investments.
It is not like we don't expect 100% from everyone you speak to, but
Right.
you guys do have a center of influence that I think a lot of groups don't think about sometimes. And you guys frankly find value in real estate, right? I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it, right? So
Yeah.
to the extent that you have that, and if there's a fit, then people want to compensate.
Retirees, right? If someone is retiring and selling their multi-million-dollar house and downgrading, now they have assets, and they will go to their wealth managers. But at the same time, just a conversation, right? That there is another option, and this is the option, and exactly like how wealth managers are qualified and certified, the same way is an EMD to talk about investments. So you're just giving them another option and see if that works for them.
Yeah, no, I think so. And I think even with the conversation with a lot of these financial advisors or wealth managers,
Yeah.
they do take a percentage of the capital that's
Absolutely.
under their holdings.
Yeah.
So like a 2% or whatever
Correct.
it may be. So maybe they want something that they don't have to pay a fee for.
So that's very interesting. And
That's
thanks,
how I would position
yeah,
it.
thanks for bringing that up, because
Yes.
if it goes to wealth manager, they take their commission out of your invested money
Yes.
/ your returns. If you go through an EMD, that's not the case.
Right.
You are not paying $1 to the EMD for helping you getting access to these private capital market. And I'm not saying that pour all your money in.
Yeah.
I'm saying that
for a small
10%,
portion.
20% of your portfolio, right?
Right.
And that can be 100,000 portfolio, that can be $100 million portfolio, right? It's all about diversifying and making more value to your portfolio and generate cash flow.
I think that's for us because most of the clients that would be interested in this have their own financial advisors because they do
Yes.
have a lot of money in their bank accounts.
Yeah.
And investment accounts. So it would and then also I guess the referral isn't a referral. He'll just refer it back to their financial advisor and it's gone. Then there's no referral from us. It's going to be
There would be, because you
There
let
will
us
be.
know who it was.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go to and then we would carve up the pie, right?
Oh, you would, okay.
Yeah.
So even from a technology side, the way we have built it is if you go on realshare.ca,
Right.
you can sign up as a referral client.
Okay.
And when you sign up,
Right.
then it gives a page of how you want to send an email to your investor
Right.
or a client. And then all you do is just send that email out. Once the client clicks on the link, that client gets registered to you or tagged to you. And then we communicate, we try to reach out, we try to sell. If it goes through, then all you see a dollar value coming in your bank account. That's how easy it is.
That's
Yeah.
very helpful. That's
Hey,
good.
nice to meet you again.
How's it going?
Very good, very good. Yeah. Any questions online? Sorry, the classes. Okay, you want to close?
Yeah, I think so. That's it. And we can, no, it's on Teams.
Sorry, I'll let you.
Okay, everyone. So if there's no other questions, then look, thank you for your time, and realshare.ca. I'll leave you with that. You can contact us. There's also a flyer which will be sent out that just goes over basically how it works. It's a very simple thing. I know it took me about half an hour here, but basically, you have opportunities where you think investors could be interested. Pass a name, and we'll get you paid, and you grow your center of influence, and you grow your network. So I think it's mutually beneficial, and we look forward to working with you guys on it. Okay, thanks so much, everyone.